Hi! I'm diving into this video with no script. I just wanted to film something that I'm doing, and it's even more upcycling. I don't remember the last time I did a video where I didn't make a script, even some sort of like mini blueprint for the plan or whatever, but I recently just did my very first YouTube collab ever. Hello? With Athena. Please go check it out. That was so amazing. But in that video, I upcycled and DIY'd my very own ornament to give to Athena. We did a little swap exchange for the holidays, and that just got me in such a crafty, creative mood. And this past week, I'm like, yo, there's only 9 days left until Christmas, and I've barely begun on people's gifts, as per usual. So this year, I decided to make everyone that I know and love an ornament, and so I'm just super excited. I have kind of an idea of what I want to do. I've already made one for my sibling. Felt ornament. I put beads on it. I even used an ombre thread along the loop. I don't know if you can tell in the lighting, but it goes from blue to white to pink, and I did the same colors on the ornament itself. I didn't film anything for this, so if you want to see how I did something very similar, go watch my collaboration video. It's pretty much the same thing. But this video is going to be all about upcycling, reducing your waste, and using everything that you already have to make some homemade gifts, ornaments for your loved ones.
She's flipped up with these horrible DIYs. She's turning these flimsy flops into fierce fixes. This is Flipper Upper.
And when I say we're going to be reusing stuff, we are going to be reusing anything and everything. This packaging, wow. The Power of Makeup Nikki Tutorials collab with Too Faced. This is 10 years old already? It might be older, I don't even know. I'm reusing that packaging. I'm gonna be reusing everything, okay? I'm just excited, so let's dive right in. Okay, like I said, I don't have a plan. I'm just gonna go all willy-nilly, show you what I have so far and everything that I plan on making. So we love to reuse bags in this household, okay? This bag is from who knows what year. We have used it year after year after year after year. The tissue paper, I love to reuse tissue paper. If you've ever received a gift from me, you can count you can bet your bottom dollar that it has been used at least once before that. Like, this is from a shoebox. If it ain't all ripped and torn up, I'm still gonna use it. And if it is still ripped and torn up, I probably still will use it. I'm not gonna spoil what else is in this gift for this person, but reusing, reducing waste, upcycling. In my collaboration video with Athena, I mentioned that I love to reuse envelopes, even cards. I will give an example of reusing a card. You can reuse them. Envelopes that were addressed to me, like obviously not with an actual address written on it, but someone's name, I'll cross out my own name and then I'll put the other person's name. Why not? I also love to make my own cards for people. I gave a very nice tutorial in my collaboration video with Athena. But also sometimes I just like to use a scrap piece of paper and then I will draw that person something that we have connected through, or something that they're interested in, something like that. I drew this by hand. If you don't know what this is, the hairline reads "chestnuts roasting on an open fire" from that video.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, just roasting in your nose.
yeah, so another way I like to reuse packaging is by using boxes like these. I don't really care for the glitter on it, but this was given to me and then I have reused it back and forth from friend to friend. It always cracks me up every single year when I give a gift to a friend and then I notice that they have reused the tissue paper, which I will show you. But even stuff like this, like, I think it's just funny, but also it means so much. It means that the person didn't just throw it out, but also it's just like that connection, you know? But in here, bubble wrap that was from back in the day when I used to be Little Miss Influencer and was on every single PR package. Not anymore. And in here, a hand-painted ornament. You might recognize this from Vlogmas of this year. I painted this in 2019 and I'm not a hairy girl anymore, but I do know someone who is and I'm like, please have this. I worked so hard on it and I know they will love it. And yeah. And to that same person, hello, yes, not to shout out CVS because they have mile-long receipts. What is that about? They're even telling you to reuse their bags, which I do. Literally every time I get a paper bag, any bag, I will reuse it. But this tissue paper, me and my friend who I'm giving this gift to have given this tissue paper back and forth. I think this will be the third, maybe fourth year. It's an ongoing joke, but also it's just funny. And this friend told me that they had been reusing it so many years prior to that, to the point where literally it feels buttery soft. It's just funny, okay? And I said that you can reuse cards. Yes, you can. This card right here, it's one of those decorative cards. So this would be like the outer part, and then it would have an individual card inside that I removed so I could keep that person's card. But then I'm like, I'm just gonna reuse this. Why not? Don't want to spoil what I wrote for them. However, I do want to show you guys how talented I am. Yeah. And again, I'm reusing the bag from the dentist. They finally switched over to paper bags. I don't know if they did that because of something that I said, but time that I was in there prior, they were using all plastic and I'm like, I wish you guys would use paper. And then that dentist agreed with me that yes, they wish so too. And then the next time I went in, they were using paper and I'm like, my impact? And one more final example before we actually get into DIYs here. It's the thought that counts. It's the thought that's in the bag that counts. I don't care if you deliver me something that is not wrapped at all. It is in your hands. I will be so grateful because it's the thought that counts. But I know a lot of people really care how their presents are wrapped and presented. Like, I get it. But also, that isn't the gift. And again, I'm just really artistically talented. And to this friend, I am reusing yet another little paper bag for a little trinket. And I'm also giving them clothes. I recently did a super duper mega closet clean out. That was the second closet clean out that I did on this channel. And I got rid of so much. And I always reach out to my friends first and I'm like, hey, I'm getting rid of these items. Do you want XYZ? And they are like, yes or no. But this person said yes. And also this friend is newly vegan. And one of my personal favorite vegan candies, I have a sweet tooth like no other. Not sponsored, the Wiley Wallaby brand. This is sold at the dollar store, yo. All vegan, fat-free if you care, no high fructose corn syrup. It's all natural. Taste the Wiley difference, it says. Wiley Wallaby, I'd love to work with you. Just simple things like this to really show that you care. Support. Are they a small brand? I don't know. They used to be, but now I see them everywhere. But I guess that's good that vegan options are becoming more available. So now let's get into the DIYs. Ever since I was a wee lass and I could, you know, form my first thought, my first opinion, I instantly, what does he say? What's the clock? You clocked it?
Not getting it. It's not clocking to you. It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
I very quickly noticed how much waste was involved, especially around the holidays, specifically with packaging, wrapping and stuff. That's why I love to use bags, because people can reuse those bags reuse your stuff. There is so much waste involved, especially around the holiday season, and it drives me cuckoo bananas. And it's just simple things like this that can really help with that. And a very simple, effective, and rather fun way that I like to reduce my waste is by using up what I already have instead of buying new. Always try to find stuff secondhand before buying firsthand. I'm talking about stuff like this, not with toothbrushes and underwear. That's okay to buy firsthand. But like I mentioned in the beginning, I am trying to make everyone an ornament or something, just something special like that. So I made my sibling that little star ornament thing. For another one of my friends, they love Animal Crossing and they love K-Pop Demon Hunters. And so I put together, I'll just pop it right here. I put this together in Pixar, not sponsored, but it's so fun to use your own AI, your actual intelligence, to actually make stuff and edit stuff and put stuff together on your own. It's rather easy. So this is what I'm thinking for this friend. It's pretty simple, but it could be difficult with the HUNTRIX logo, but I know I can do it. So I have a lot of stuff for that. For another friend, they love Sanrio, specifically Miss Kuromi. That is their favorite character. So I have an idea with that. And then my other friend, I'm giving them the Harry Styles fine line ornament that I painted. And for someone else, I'm making them a painting, which nothing in that is secondhand, but whatever. Let's focus on ornaments. Let's pop up the photo. Put that photo of Chad Bowers. Well, technically that's Russ Holiday.
Oh, Mr. Incredible, oh, Mr. Incredible.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on the Animal Crossing HUNTRIX thing. Let me show you what I have. So just yesterday I was going through my stationery supplies and I was recently given a very old set of blank cards and envelopes, and in that was this broken ribbon, and the bow is still intact, and I'm gonna use the ribbon, and I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, but it's stuff like this that people will throw away willy-nilly. There will be no textile waste in this household. I also love to reuse random fabric scraps like this. What is this even from? I don't know, but I saved it. This thingamabob, it was used to cushion like a glass plate or something, and I'm like, it's so pretty. And I don't know if you can see, it has a beautiful beveled edge. I don't know, I'm just throwing a word out there. Like, hello, perfect circle, beautiful purple, still intact very well. I feel like this will be perfect for the HUNTRIX logo. It is an ombre of pink to purple, but this is like the perfect in between, and I want to make it a bit more simple. So, and I think with this one, I'm gonna make it plush. So at least the leaf part. In my collaboration with Athena, the ornament that I made, I stuffed it with leftover fabric scraps, and I have these, they're from denim, I don't know, but it's rather soft still, so if I cut it up into smaller pieces like that, it'll be easy to just like stuff inside, give it a little cushion, whatnot. This thing, a white piece of like, it's felt, but it's like hard, I don't know, I think it went inside of a shoe, I don't quite know, but I think I'm gonna use this for Kuromi, the other ornament. Also for Kuromi, she has her cute little black hood. This is all of the black felt that I have left. Of course the sun went away, but you can still see it has like glitter in it. It doesn't come out at all, thankfully. So I've had this forever and I use tiny little bits here and there. Like with my anti-AI DIY doll box girl boss starter pack video that I did. I used this for the shoes and the bag and everything, but this will be perfect for Kuromi's hood. Going back to the Animal Crossing ornament, I have a rather large piece, I think it's multiple pieces actually, of this very pretty, almost foresty green felt. That's the word. So I'm gonna use that, but there is a bit of an ombre, at least in the middle portion of the leaf, and I was looking through my fabrics and this is the only green I have. But then, yes, it's underwear that I don't wear anymore. I never really wore it a lot because, oh, the stories I could tell about my PR affiliate partnership days. Anyways, I was once upon a time an affiliate for this brand, and I have worn multiple pairs of their underwear, different styles, whatever. Don't want to get too much into it because I would love to make a video on all that bull caca one day. But anyways, the bands that they use, they are stretchy, but they cut in so much. This is my size. I've even tried to size up before. It's the band itself. The top is so hard and abrasive and it cuts into my stomach, and I don't know if I just have like a sensitive tummy area or whatever. Even when Aunt Flo is not in town, I just hate feeling pressure right there, and especially because I like to sit on the ground a lot. I don't have the best posture, but I will lean over and then it cuts in and I'm just like, I cannot wear these anymore, and this is something that I would not dare donate. Please don't ever donate this stuff. So I mean, the fabric still perfectly fine to use, so I think I'm going to use that for the ornament. Let's just get into it. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Alrighty, I brought you down to the floor level. Shout out to my DIY bed skirt that I made from a thrifted bed sheet. I have an entire playlist full of all of my DIYs, mostly upcycling DIYs, so that'll be down below if you're interested. Alrighty, so to see how much fabric we have, I think it would make the most sense to just seam rip it right there. Let's seam if it'll work. Okay, I'm gonna time lapse this because I have to do it the whole thing, okay? Alrighty, that probably took 20 minutes, but I finally seam ripped the entire band off of there. But as you can see, it looks like this now, and that's okay. It isn't totally damaged. Just a little bit of the elastic has been ripped out, but also a little bit of this fabric is still stuck in there. So I've been trying to pull it out, and those fuzzies, these fuzzies will not go to waste, because whenever I have thread scraps or little microfibers like this, I just pop them in my little jar here full of many scraps, and I'll be saving this for a future upcycling DIY. I don't know when that's gonna happen, so I just keep saving as much as I can. I'll do it one day. Alrighty, so now that we have the fabric, that's still a lot of seam ripping to do because like there's the front part, so I think I'm just gonna cut it. I'm not gonna spend all that time just to do that once again. I'm glad I did it though to save this band, because I'll reuse it for something one day, but I'm just gonna cut along all the seams here. Wouldn't want to wear these now. So I think that this will be good for the leaf. I'm just gonna start sketching out a shape with this little yellow fabric chalk thingy mabob that I've used in pretty much every single video that has had fabric in it. I use this guy. Now I also have to think about the Huntrix logo because it's pretty intricate if you look at it. I'll make it relatively big. Let's see. I don't know. Let's just go for it. Any awkward bits that I have left over, I'll just snip right there, and this will go into my scrap fabric pile that I will use to stuff the ornament itself. Any fabric aside from felt, I would typically pin it together, but felt sticks to itself pretty well. So I'm just gonna lay it on top, make sure it is smushed in there, and then I'm just gonna cut right around there to get the same shape so that we could have two pieces to sandwich together. Going into my scrap fabric pile, and even though they aren't perfectly identical because I didn't pin them, whatever, once I sew it together, it'll be more cohesive. Alrighty, so I'm gonna sew this. I'm gonna use a slightly lighter green. I guess that is a lot lighter, but it is still right in between that more yellowy green that I'm gonna add on top. And I'm gonna use this to sew almost all the way around, and I'm gonna leave the cutout part unsewn for now so that I can stuff it with the fabric scraps later. So I'm gonna sew these two together, and to hide the initial knot, the first knot that I make, let's see if I can get a good angle. So these are the two together. The bottom piece, I'm gonna go in through there, and then I will tie my knot here and then continue sewing with this on top. Before I pull the loop all the way through, I'm going to put my needle through the hole, pull the thread through so that it creates a nice edge like that. And at the moment I'm totally forgetting, is it called a blanket stitch? Maybe. But yeah, you just keep doing that all the way along here. I like to leave, I don't know, that's probably 1 millimeter of space in between each segment. And my needle went through. And there is the second blanket stitch. I'm just going to do that all the way along. That little extra bit can just be stuffed right back in there. No need to cut it off. I'm going to continue all the way around, stopping at the other part of the leaf so that I could use that to stuff. So as you can see, I didn't quite get there because I didn't have enough thread. Well, I didn't cut off enough thread. Thankfully, I do have enough thread to tie this off. I just like to loop through the felt and the string just a little and just do a simple tiny knot like that. And if it were just a little bit of thread, I would tuck it in there. But I think I'm just gonna snip it off really close to the knot and pop it in my jar. So I might as well just keep that opening like that for now, and then I will stuff it with my scraps, and then I will continue sewing this up. So let's do it. So it's basically just a giant pocket, and let's see, I think I can put a little bit into the stem, and to help push it in there I'm just going to use a pencil. I'll take the rest of the scraps and just cram it in there. And you could also totally use your thread scraps as well to do the same thing, but like I said, I'm saving those for something special. And then I don't quite have enough, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the denim to further add some cushion. And I feel like that'll be good enough for now. I'm just going to continue sewing this closed, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, so the HUNTRIX logo now doesn't have a U, but it's still the same, but I guess the real issue, maybe an issue, it's not gonna be an issue. I just have to figure out a way to cut this out. These are not the sharpest scissors, so let's just do it. Excuse me, I fucking did that. So that's gonna be a lot to stitch, so I think I'm just gonna whip out the good old fabric glue. But I think I do, like, I'm not gonna stitch it on there. I think I'm just gonna stitch. Do I want to stitch? Yeah, it needs something. It needs at least a border, and then I'm gonna try to do like the R. I'm gonna do something. this. No. Why is the fabric glue like taking off my nail polish? What the fuck is going on? Alrighty, so about a year ago, I did my Kiki and Lala DIY ornaments. I have Lala here, and I basically did the same thing except I sewed everything here, which obviously took more time, but holy cow, I've never used this fabric glue before. It is so liquidy, and as soon as you pop off the cap, it's just like bursting at the seams. So that's rather annoying, but I did sew on the details, but I think for this, since it's white felt, I'm just gonna go in with a Sharpie and then a black permanent marker for the eyes. Like, I'm not doing all that again. So let's do her little nose. Okay. The eyes. Then her eyelashes. And we're done. I just need to add a little loop on there. And honestly, hey, I have this ribbon that I didn't use, and that would be perfect. I'll just do it like that. I want it to be big enough. I think like that'll be good. Ugh, I gotta open that glue one more time. Let's flip that around so we can just do it right away. I'll cut that. Oh, so now it isn't bursting out. Hello? Hello there. Put it there. Put it there. Make sure it's kind of angled out so the loop can be a loop. And then pop it right there. And this stuff needs a little bit more time to dry than the other super duper old fabric glue that I was using, so it's pretty much done. I just gotta let it dry. But also, like, I had this out there last night when I was making this, but I didn't really pay attention to the size, but hello, they're like pretty much the same size, so that's cool. Alrighty, I think this is the last ornament that I have to make. Okay, before we get into the outro, I gotta show you my shirt. Thrifted! My bangs are at that length where I'm like, I don't know if I want to cut them again or let them grow out. I haven't not had bangs in about 5 years. So I don't know. Alrighty, I am so glad that I got both of these done. I think it's been less than 24 hours, who knows? Only my camera roll will tell. Although she isn't fully dry yet. Oh my god, the back. It's only the front that matters. Although she isn't fully dry, she's dry enough to be packaged up, so. There. Did I show this yet? Okay. This bag is from 1979. I acquired this when I was cleaning out my grandparents' den a few years ago and it was gonna be thrown away. I'm like, okay, it's so cute. It isn't, like, it's still usable. And that's crazy how old this is. And it's so cute. Anywho, I'm so glad I got all this done, and pretty much all of the presents for this holiday season are all done. They are complete, they are wrapped up and ready to go. I still have a few more, but those are bigger projects. So anyways, that deserves a pat on the back. I'm also simultaneously working on episode 6 of my animated movie tier list series all about holiday movies. It's all filmed and I'm about halfway done with editing, but I just had to take a wee little break and stop staring at my screen this close to actually get something else done. But yeah, I really hope this inspired some of you guys to live a little more eco-friendly this holiday season and, you know, put your own AI, your own actual intelligence to the test. Not really a test at all, it's just, you know, get those creative gears going and you'll have a whole lot of fun. But speaking of AI, watch my new video. This is my first little deep dive video. I have so much that I want to talk about, but especially now that this is becoming such an unfortunate everyday occurrence everywhere all around the world, especially in the US, it's disgusting. Like, hello, we don't want this, we don't need this. To further educate yourself if you are not aware of all of the bull poo-poo kakaduki that comes with it, check out this video. I'll have it linked down below for you to check out. But enough about that, let's focus on something a little more positive, the holidays. I hope everyone is and will be having a super wonderful, peaceful, joyful, brilliant, beautiful, and very safe holiday season, and I will always be here for you. I wish you all the very best this holiday, and I hope that this upcoming year is your most fabulous one yet. Now more than ever, it is so important to support your local small businesses, especially queer-owned businesses, trans-owned businesses. It's so important. We cannot stay silent. If you are an ally, if you believe you are a true ally, you have to be loud. You cannot stay silent. We have to be there for one another. This is and always will be a safe space for people of all identities, so please remember that you will always have a safe space here. Any weird, hateful, bigoted people that come along, we get those sometimes. Not sure why. Those people don't stay very long because of that good old report button, so don't worry about that. But I just want you all to know that I am so very thankful for you, and I'm very grateful that you are still here, and I could not thank you enough for all the support you guys have shown me, especially this year. There have been so many times where I just look at my previous videos and then upcoming videos that I want to do, and I'm like, is it even worth it? Like, this is something that I really enjoy doing, and I don't know. I will continue. I'm just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. I hope y'all have a super wonderful holiday season. Episode 6 of my animated movie tier list series will be out sometime very soon if it isn't out already. So, but before you go, I've been doing some research over the past couple of weeks, and I have discovered something that is the truth. People who are subscribed and people who engage, I've noticed, are really cool, really funny, really pretty, really fashionable, really spontaneous, really adventurous, really immaculate and impeccable, and super fabulous people. And I bet you're one of those people. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and be kind to the earth. And do not stay silent. We are all in this together. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and I'll see you when I see ya.